Hello, welcome to this playthrough of Elden Ring, where I will be in the co-pilot seat and Branwell will be driving. This is a lore playthrough, and in every video there will be spoilers because this is intended as a vehicle for Branwyn to explain her theories on the lore of the setting. So if you'd rather develop your own theories without being influenced by other people's, or don't want to be surprised on some of the deep lore of the game, this is not a straight playthrough of just playing gameplay focused. This is a lore focused playthrough. So you might want to give this a pass if you want to avoid big spoilers. With that said, I hope you enjoy the video. And we're back.
First thing I want to point out about the name of Limgrave is that some of the characters from Dark Souls came from a place called Limvelt.
Oh,
One of the things that Dark Souls and Souls games do a lot is like show how long it's been between games by having some linguistic drift.
got it.
It happens with names a lot. It happens with the names of places a lot. Now, as I said, that's Stormvale Castle up there,
Yep.
and that is the Chapel of Contemplation where we just were. We have sort of a near goal to get to of that church there. The Erd tree shining in the background.
Absolutely massive.
Yeah, we can see. I think we can see all of the divine towers from here. So there's Carrier, there's Alphys Plateau, there's the one attached to Stormvale just there. The lonely one out to sea. The only one I'm not sure we can quite see from here is the one attached to the capital. And then there's the one over there in Hell.
Caelid?
No, not Hell, Caelid. There we are.
I was about to ask if Caelid had one, but
Yeah, no, there's one there in Caelid. The one in Caelid's actually quite important when we get there. Yeah, down there we've got like the second mini boss that's supposed to teach you, hey, don't just run up on things. Yeah, we have a map now.
in Neo 2, that would be the bullheaded demon in the first mission.
Yes. So this is this is Vare. He used to be a doctor. Now he serves Moog. He's the most likely candidate for the person who killed our Finger Maiden at the start. He's into arcane and sort of blood sorcery stuff, or blood miracles, things like that. Also, not a very nice guy.
Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
I wonder just how put out he is when you end up not needing him later.
Yeah, that is a whole thing.
Luckily for you, however, There is one shining ray of hope for even the maidenless. Me, Vare. Take care to listen. Are you familiar with grace? The golden light that gives life to you tarnished. You may also behold its golden rays, pointing in a particular direction at times. That is the guidance of grace, a path that a tarnished must travel. Indeed. Grace's guidance holds the answers. It will lead you tarnished to the path you are meant to follow, even if it leads you to your grave.
I mean, yeah, so when you think about it, like he kills tarnished maidens so that and then waits for them when they come out of here so he can sort of co-opt them and become the first friendly face that they see that help them and make you think well of him so you'll join his faction.
Got it.
Um,
Got it.
yeah.
Grace's guidance will reveal the path forward, most certainly, to Castle Stormvale, over on the cliff, the home of the decrepit demigod, Godric the Grafted. It's time you set off, I should think, to Castle Storm if you seek the Elden Ring.
I noticed the castle is kind of tilted.
Oh yeah, it's getting wrecked. When we get closer to it, we are going to talk about how wrecked it is. So summoning pools will let us summon spirits to help us in the nearby area later when we get the summoning chime. I'm going to just quickly run over and hit some of these bats and pick up the souls off their bodies.
Mm-hmm. I liked that bit about how they do. I know there's more in how they do. What do you call it? PvP, multiplayer in Neo 2, but most of it, instead of having like invaders and such, at least from what I can tell, most of it is you would encounter the different graves. And I can't forget what the blue ones are. You can. The blue ones are someone uses an item that they place a renowned. I think it's a renowned grave, and you can summon their avatar to fight with you for a brief time. And then they get some benefit out of it, for sending their person out to help you.
Yeah.
And then the bloody graves are somebody died here, and you can summon their spirit to fight him and put them down. The bloody graves also tell you how they died.
Yes. No, that we would be able to see a lot of that if I was playing online, but I'm not. I don't. I just don't bother.
I understand. I mean, if the Neo 2 thing had the invaders, I absolutely wouldn't have it online either.
Yeah. So this is Kale. Kale's a merchant. He's from a nomadic people that got completely screwed over by the old civilization, under Marika and the rest of the demigods.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're going to talk more about his people later, but at least he's here to sell us stuff now.
Cool.
You're tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods. I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness since the shattering of the Elden Ring. It's only tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer. If you can spare the runes, you should buy yourself a crafting kit. Crafting
When I
kits
tried.
to make basic items on your own.
But
Really.
the green side.
For any duration.
Is it pet now?
Kit costs a bundle.
There you go.
And I admit I do take my cut.
Now I'm going over here.
The important
I love the way
thing
you
is I
give her a pat. She's like,
custom account.
never know.
After all.
Case in point.
And so,
I am not going to be able to filter out the background noise. That's fine.
so I didn't go and do the Cave of Strength, so I don't have enough runes to just buy stuff willy-nilly without consuming.
Brandon, you cannot just be abbreviating things all million.
Did you hear that?
I heard that, yeah.
Awesome.
Telescope.
Consider eating some of the dry foods.
Would I do that one?
Because money and infinity are different.
What-
You cannot be staring at your trees.
The tutorial tip for containers. The tutorial tip for containers, was it throwing something at a bat?
I could have them now.
Is container
Yes.
is container like a term for grenade in this game?
Yes.
Okay. That's not usually what I would use the term container for.
Yeah, no, the cracked pots that I bought are containers that can be crafted into grenades.
Got it. Okay.
I'll be honest, most of the things that you can craft in this game are containers that you throw at things that then explode, and
This is a structurally compromised ceramic pot. We're going to put something noxious or flammable in it, or both.
yep, exactly. And those containers also heal when we sit at a bonfire. So,
Oh, that's neat.
Site of grace.
That's neat.
But the things that are in them do not replenish, so that you have to recraft the grenades every time you use them.
That's interesting. So you still have to go around and get the ingredients and all that. And...
Correct.
Okay. It's sort of halfway between what Neo 2 does for, learned skills and what it does for store-bought items. Because if you loot something or buy it from a store, it's one shot. You use it and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a skill you picked up, learned, like a ninjutsu or a onmyo skill that you learned, then it refreshes every time. As long as you have it set up in your loadout at the moment, it refreshes every time you rest.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out to everyone that we are just talking about Neo 2 for comparison of mechanics. They are made by completely different people and have no lore significance between the two games.
No. The only FromSoft game that would be connected to Neo 2 is Sekiro. Because I think Sekiro is Sekiro Japan, or is it its own thing?
Sekiro is Japan, yes.
Yeah.
But Sekiro is connected to these games.
Oh God. Is there patches in Sekiro?
I don't know. I don't actually think there is a patches in Sekiro, but this game makes it very clear that um, the quote unquote land of reeds is a part of this world.
Hmm.
Okay, let's meet Melina.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring up Neo 2 is because that's the only Soulsborne
Yeah.
Souls-like I've actually played much of.
Yes, I understand.
Well, it was for the audience.
I just yes.
I like the outfit a lot.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina. I offer you an accord. Have you heard of the Finger Maidens? They serve the Two Fingers, offering guidance and aid to the tarnished. But you, I am afraid, are maidenless. I can play the role of maiden, turning runes into strength to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree. Then it's settled. Summon me by grace to turn runes into strength. Ah, another matter. I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
I love the way the teleport is just a turning into mist and vanishing.
Yeah. Um I mean that's the thing. She's not actually teleporting. Like there there are indications that she is just a spirit being. There's also indications that we are just spirit beings.
Mm.
When we die, we fade into the same sort of mist.
Ah,
And then we find out, then we're back to a site of grace, the last site of grace we rested at.
and I guess when you fast travel, the same thing.
Yes.
Mm,
But we don't see that.
got it.
So there's like, what is going on there? We're going to talk about that. I just want to point out here that this spectral steed whistle, a delicate gold work ring can be used as a finger whistle. A delicate gold work ring indicates that was probably crafted by Michaela. Which
Go on.
which is interesting. It's one of the little mysteries that we're going to be talking about.
Michaela being the antagonist of the story.
Yeah, yeah,
So they're associated with Goldwork.
yes. Uh,
May I have a word?
yeah, and we're going to meet another extremely important character. Okay.
A pleasure to meet thee, Tarnished. I am the will I'd heard tell of a tarnished hurtling about atop a spectral steed, and upon looking into the matter, the talk, I surmise, is of thee. Thou art possessed of the power, no? To call forth a spectral steed named Torrent. Ah, as I had hoped, I was entrusted this for thee by Torrent's former master. 'Tis a bell for calling forth spirits. Summon them with it. From ash and return to the Erdtree, the spirits will obey thine command but briefly, as they recall battles past. Now it is thine, to do with as thou wishest.
Yeah, so before we continue her dialogue, she claims to be Renna the Witch. She's actually Ranni the Witch, one of the demigods. She is inhabiting a doll body. If we look closely, you can see the
Porcelain.
the porcelain and the rope things. You could also see that she's only kind of half inhabiting the doll. Her spirit face is outside. You can see the doll and mostly we can see that the doll looks a lot like Melina. When we get closer, when we're able to get closer, we'll be able to see more. Another thing I wanted to point out was the sort of knotwork crown on her hat.
Oh, I thought that was a chain.
Yeah, no, it's can I get closer here? There we are.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's not metal. That is embroidery, stiff cord and stuff.
So yeah, like more sort of thematic, at least allusions to connections to things. But let's.
With mine intrusion tarnished, I doubt we shall again meet. But all the same, learn well the lands between. How long will it be, I wonder, before the tarnished tire of obeisance to the two fingers?
And then she disappears like Melina. Speaking of which, we can talk to Melina a bit more.
I also noticed there's like a pattern on the back of her hat that looks like raven feathers.
Interesting. We'll have to look at that more later.
This tiny golden aura is the grace of the Erdtree. This light once shone in the eyes of your tarnished brethren, but now it is all that guides you. Or so I hear. You can see them, can't you? The rays of grace that guide you through your burden.
Do appreciate it.
In Castle Stormvale is a shard bearer, a demigod,
I'm glad you approve.
of the shattered Elden Ring. If the rays of grace signal the castle,
The light, look at the bodies. The bodies hit the floor.
Eventually.
I pray that you are fit to face the challenge presented by the ring.
And the trees.
If a demigod
Okay, so she says the same
What are
thing.
the cats?
Got it. Yeah.
to face
The tree hit the floor.
Okay.
How are we doing for time?
We are at 23 and a half, so this is probably, that's my minimum where I
Yeah.
like to do.
Yeah, there-
So I think this is, we can kill a few
Aha,
things,
missed.
then the switch.
Yep, sure. Let's get some more runes while we're wandering about. Go and get the whetstone.
These are Godric's men.
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah, this
The happiest.
despite being like the starting weapon for the class with the least of anything in the game, this club can be surprisingly good as a starter weapon.
So it seems.
Just hit like strike damage is pretty good in the game, but
Now those apples didn't get cooked.
it's also very fast. Like this, it hits very fast.
I notice it also does a bit of a stagger.
Oh yes, because
Fire.
it's a bludgeoning weapon. Because it's a bludgeoning weapon, it does really good poise damage.
Ah.
So it staggers things quite easily.
Forget what the term is in Neo 2, but the ones that do good stagger are the not Tetsubu, the Tonfa and the gauntlets are the big ones, I think.
Hey, this guy.
Hammers are pretty good about it, actually, I think.
At least one of them. All good.
Yeah, same idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is where we get our first Ash of War, which we can change out on certain weapons.
Right, right. Poor doggy. Okay.
Unfortunately, the woof tried to eat us, and we can't have that.
Yep. Okay. I think this is probably a good place to switch over.
I'm just going to sit down.
Grace to grace.
Yep.
Okay. Was this another... Oh, no, okay, cool. Switching now.